Hi everyone, my name is Glenda with SureFit Designs. I've been asked to produce a short video on the pull-on elasticized waist pant, and that's the essence of this tutorial. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fun to sew, and the best part is it's going to give you an excellent fit when it's done. So there are some things that you need to evaluate when you're designing a pant for an elasticized waistline. Number one, are you going to work with a woven fabric that has absolutely no give whatsoever, or are you going to work with a knit fabric that always is going to have some crosswise stretch and it may have some lengthwise stretch as well? If you are working with a woven fabric, then what you need to make sure that you do is have enough space at your waistline to go up over top of whatever your fullest hip circumference is. Because remember, these pants aren't going to have a zipper, and we need to be able to pull that waistline up over our fullest hip circumference. So what you will do is just simply take a line from where your fullest hip straight up into the waist area like that. And yes, I know it makes a bigger waistline, which means more gathers at your waist. There are some body shapes that really aren't suited to this, and one is the diamond-shaped hip person who's real full in the low hip and quite small in the waist, and in order to get those pants up over top of the hip line, that waistline actually gets pretty big. You'd have a lot of gathering there. So it's not necessarily the most suitable pant for a diamond-shaped hip person. Another thing to keep in mind is that both the front and the back of your pants have a hip fitting dart, and that is going to give some ease as well and some room for pants to pull up over top of your hip line. But for all intents and purposes, make sure that you've got enough space to go over top of your lowest, fullest hip. Then the next thing that you need to determine is how are you going to finish off the pant on the inside? What's that inside going to look like? In this woven fabric pant, I have approximately 3/8 of an inch right here where I have overlocked or serged the edge to keep it from fraying, and then where I've done the stitching for the elastic is right underneath the elastic itself. So you would need to compensate for that when you're building up the waist edge. Another option that you've got is in this sample of the knit fabric, I have simply allowed just a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch for the turn of the cloth, and then my stitching stitched right through the fabric as well as through the elastic. And another option is perhaps you might want to do an elasticized band that actually sews onto the pant. So all of these decisions need to be made ahead of time when you are designing this particular application. So let's talk about the pant that's built up from the body of the pant itself and has a little bit of seam allowance there. First of all, you need to determine how wide your elastic is. So you need to have made that decision ahead of time. I've got a couple of samples here. This is a 1-inch wide piece, and this is a 2-inch wide piece. What this means is that you're going to add on, 2 times the width of that elastic. So for this example, I'll just use a 1-inch wide piece of elastic. Whoops. We need to build up 2 times the width of that elastic plus the seam allowance. So for this example, it would be 1 plus 1 plus the seam allowance for approximately 2 3/8 inches that I'm coming up. I will do the same thing on this side, like that. And of course, if I'm using woven fabric, this needs to come straight up like this. And then we will connect together the side waist point and the center back waist point like this, and that gives us our casement and the extension for the width of the elastic. So you always need to accommodate for the turn of the cloth and going over top of that elastic, and however you have determined that you're going to finish off that edge on the inside. Now, if you are working with a knit fabric, not a woven fabric, you obviously don't need this portion right here. And you actually, depending on how stretchy the knit is, may want to eliminate that dart as well. And so you can actually reduce the side seam in this fashion, and because your knit is going to stretch and pull up over top of your body, and then your extension would look basically like that coming up. The other thing that you need to decide is, where do you want this elastic to sit on your body? The SureFit Designs pants waist edge actually is designed to sit right at your waistline. And so this is an example where the casement has been built up beyond the waist elastic, meaning that will sit above your waist. If you want it to ride right at your waist, then you have to have removed the top edge of that pants pattern, again determining where you want it to ride on your body, and then add on the casement beyond that so that it will sit a little bit lower. That actually is illustrated in this Yoga Travel and Comfort pant, where the top of the elastic actually sits right at the top of my waist itself and not above. And where you'll find directions for this is in Pants That Mix and Multiply on page 14. So between the Pants That Mix and Multiply book and the SureFit Designs Pant Kit Instruction book, you're going to have lots of information on how to do the elasticized waist for a pull-on pant. So for this and other informative videos showing you how to work with your SureFit Designs pattern as well as how to design with it, please make sure you go to the SureFit Designs Learning Center over to the video library, where all the videos are complimentary for your benefit.